In every person's life, there are moments that feel like a big fork in the road. It is that feeling when you are walking along a path you thought you knew, and suddenly you have to make a choice that will change everything. When you are in a relationship, you often feel like you are building a beautiful home together, brick by brick. You put in your time, your heart, and your very best efforts. You think about the future, you plan for the quiet evenings, and you imagine a life where you are always supported. But sometimes, the person you are building this house with starts saying things that show they are no longer interested in the home you are making. There are certain things a woman might say to you that act like a clear window into her heart. These words are not just noise. They tell you exactly where the relationship is going, and more importantly, how she really feels about you as a person. Most of us, because we are kind and full of hope, tend to ignore these signs. We make excuses for her behavior. We tell ourselves she is just having a bad day or that she is feeling stressed from her job. We hope that if we just wait a little longer, she will go back to being the person we first fell in love with. We try harder, we give more of ourselves, and we stay very patient, thinking that our love will be enough to fix everything that is broken. However, there are some things that should never be brushed aside like dust. When a woman says these specific things, she is not just talking out of anger. She is showing you her deepest thoughts, her level of respect for you, and her true plans for the future. If you choose to stay after hearing these words, you are unfortunately setting yourself up for a very sad and painful ending. This guide, put together by a group of caring experts, isn't about being angry or seeking any kind of revenge. Instead, it is about something much more important. It is about protecting yourself. It is about keeping your dignity, your precious time, and your heart safe. Many men end up getting hurt deeply, not because the women in their lives are naturally mean, but because those men refuse to walk away even when a woman is clearly showing that she does not value them anymore. The truth is actually very simple to understand. A woman who truly respects you will not talk to you in a way that makes you feel small or unimportant. A woman who really cares about you will never try to break your spirit or make you feel bad about yourself mentally or emotionally. When she starts doing those things, you do not need to stand there and argue. You do not need to try to bargain for her love or beg her to see your worth. You simply leave. Today, you are going to learn about 5 specific statements that are big red flags. These are not just words. They are signals that tell you about her maturity, her current feelings, and how she views your partnership. These are not little jokes. They are not comments said in the heat of a moment that she doesn't mean. And they are not just mistakes. When a woman says these things, she really means them deep down. If you choose to ignore them, there will come a day when you will look back and wish you had listened to your gut. Some men believe that walking away makes them look weak or like they gave up, but it is actually the exact opposite. Weakness is staying in a place where you are not respected. Strength is having the courage to remove yourself from a bad situation. You do not have to raise your voice. You do not have to prove how much you are worth. You do not have to spend hours trying to convince her to change her mind. Leaving is the loudest and final statement you can ever make. It says, "I love and respect myself more than I need your approval." These 5 phrases are not small. They are like alarms going off in the middle of the night. They show that she does not value you. She does not see a future with you. She feels like she is better than you. Or she is keeping you around as a backup plan while she looks for something else. In many cases, she has already checked out of the relationship in her mind. Once you hear these things, the relationship is already over. It just hasn't officially ended yet. A woman who wants to be with you will do everything she can to protect the bond you share. But a woman who is done will use her words to tear that bond apart. You can never teach a person to respect you by staying after they have been disrespectful. You teach people your worth by walking away without a second thought. If she says any of these 5 things, do not argue. Do not debate her. Do not fight for her to stay in your life. Just leave immediately. First, let's talk about the phrase, I don't need you. When a woman looks at you and says these four words, she is doing more than just letting out some anger. She is peeling back a layer and showing you how she truly sees your place in her life. This is not something a woman says to a man she truly respects and admires. She would never say this to someone she values as a life partner. She wouldn't say it to someone she genuinely wants to build a future with. By saying she doesn't need you, she is making it very clear. You are optional. You are someone who can be replaced. You are not important to her daily happiness or her long-term goals. Now, it is important to understand that a healthy, strong woman can be independent. She can have her own dreams, her own job, and her own life and still deeply appreciate having you by her side. Being independent is great, but using that independence to hurt you is not. When she throws the fact that she doesn't need you in your face, she is telling you that you are not a partner. She sees you as someone temporary, someone she can walk away from tomorrow without feeling like she lost anything of value. Many men hear this and immediately try to fix the situation. They start explaining all the things they do. They try to defend why they are important. They work even harder to prove that they matter. But here is the sad truth. Once a woman says this, she has likely already moved on in her heart. You cannot argue with someone to make them value you. You cannot use logic to make someone care when they have already decided they don't. Think about it this way. When a woman respects a man, she is careful with her words. Even when she is very mad, frustrated, or emotional, she will not attack your basic importance unless her goal is to hurt you. And if the person who is supposed to love you wants to hurt you, they are not on your team anymore. This phrase also reveals that she might believe she has better options waiting for her. A person doesn't push away something they are afraid to lose. When she says she doesn't need you, there is a hidden message. She thinks you need her much more than she needs you. This belief completely breaks the balance that a good relationship needs. The second she starts seeing herself as being above you, everything will change for the worse. She will stop putting in effort. She will stop caring about your day. She will stop saying thank you for the things you do. If you stay after she says this, you are teaching her that you are okay with being treated like you don't matter. And once she learns that you will accept that, the disrespect will only get worse. She will talk down to you in front of others. She will make big life decisions without asking what you think. She will treat you like a backup plan because she already told you the truth and you chose to ignore it. Walking away in this moment isn't about being mean or emotional. It is just common sense. You are taking yourself out of a place where you are not wanted. If she wants to be alone, let her be alone. If she wants to prove she can do it all without you, believe her and let her try. If she wants a life where you aren't there, don't stand in her way. So many men lose their own happiness trying to convince the wrong woman that they are worth loving. But a man who respects himself doesn't beg. When she says, I don't need you, he doesn't complain. He just leaves. Because a woman who truly loves you will never feel the need to tell you that you are unnecessary. Second, pay attention if she ever tells you, you're too emotional. She might not say this during a big, loud fight. Sometimes she might say it very quietly, or act like it's just a casual observation. But the meaning behind it is very heavy. When she says you are too emotional, she isn't really talking about how you communicate. She is actually taking a shot at your masculinity. She is trying to label your feelings as a sign of weakness. Once she starts seeing you as weak, she will stop respecting you as a man. Here is something we all need to remember. Real men have feelings. Real men feel the weight of stress, the sting of disappointment, and the pressure of daily life. We all feel frustrated sometimes, but when a woman uses those feelings as a weapon against you, she is sending a message. She is saying that she doesn't care about your heart or your mental health. She doesn't see herself as your support system. Instead, she sees herself as your judge. A kind and loving woman will listen when you talk. A woman who has grown up in her heart will try to understand you. A loyal partner will actually be thankful that you are being honest with her. But a woman who makes fun of your emotions is looking down on you. She wants you to be like a robot that just keeps going and never feels anything. She wants to enjoy the safety and strength you provide, but she has no time or space for your moments of vulnerability. She wants a protector, but she has no interest in protecting you in return. This statement shows that she has no plan to be a safe harbor for you. If a man feels like he can't be honest with his partner, he is essentially alone even when he's in a relationship. Many men keep their pain hidden because they are terrified of being called too sensitive or weak. Once she puts that label on you, she will use it again and again. Later on, when you have a disagreement, she will throw it back at you. She will say you are overreacting, or that you care too much, or that you are being dramatic. Every time she says these things, the respect in the relationship dies a little more. Eventually, you will just stop talking to her. You will stop sharing your thoughts. You will stop trusting her with your inner world. And the saddest part is that she will probably blame you for being distant, even though she was the one who built the wall between you. There is another truth here. A woman only calls a man too emotional when she isn't worried about losing him. If she really valued you, she would choose her words with kindness. If she was afraid of you walking away, she would try to comfort you, not make you feel small. And if she ever says this in front of other people, it is a massive warning sign. It means she doesn't just lack respect for you. She actually enjoys the feeling of embarrassing you. A woman like that is not someone you can build a life with because she is willing to hurt you just to make herself feel powerful. When a woman treats your feelings like they don't matter, don't try to explain yourself. Don't beg her to understand your heart. You cannot explain your soul to someone who isn't interested in being careful with it. You walk away, because someone who loves you will never call you weak for being a human being with a heart. Third, watch out for the phrase, "You deserve better than me." At first, this might sound like a very sweet thing to say. It sounds humble, soft, and maybe even like she is worried about you. Many men hear this and think, "Oh, she's just feeling a bit insecure. I need to show her how much I love her." They think she is just scared of hurting them. But you need to look closer. When a woman says, "You deserve better," what she is really saying is that she has no intention of being the person you deserve. She is giving you her exit speech. It is a way for her to step back and stop trying without having to feel like the bad guy in the story. She is telling you right now that she won't put in the work. She won't commit to you fully, and she won't change her ways to make things work. Instead of just being honest and saying she doesn't want to try anymore, she hides behind this excuse that sounds like kindness. But let's be real. A woman who truly wants to be with you does not try to push you towards someone else. A woman who values you doesn't want someone better to have you. She wants to be that better person for you. She doesn't run away from the responsibility of a relationship. This phrase shows that she has already made up her mind. She likely checked out weeks or months ago. You are only hearing the words now, but the decision was made a long time ago. She could choose to be better. She could choose to work on her attitude or her effort. She could choose to be the partner you need. But she won't. And the reason she won't is that she doesn't see you as a man she is afraid to lose. This is a soft way of breaking up with you. She wants you to accept it so she can leave with a clean conscience. It is a rejection wrapped in a pretty bow. If she truly believed you were so wonderful that you deserved better, she would be working as hard as she could to keep you. She would fight for the relationship. She would talk to you, show growth, and give you her best energy. Instead, she is taking the easy way out. She is saying, "I am not the problem. You are just too good for me." But the real translation is usually one of three things. Either there is someone else she wants to give her effort to, or she is done but doesn't want the blame, or she knows she is treating you poorly and has no plan to stop. Women do not push away the men they are truly in love with. They only push away the men they no longer value. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to argue with her about it. Don't say, "No, you're wonderful, I only want you." The moment you start defending her after she has basically told you she's not good for you, you lose your own value. A man with self-respect doesn't wait around for someone who has already said she isn't going to be what he needs. He takes her at her word. He leaves, because believing her is much smarter than begging her to stay. If she tells you that you deserve better, the best thing you can do is prove her right. Walk away and go find that better life she talked about. Fourth, there is a very painful sentence. "I never asked you to do anything for me." This one really hurts because it feels like a slap in the face. When a woman says this, she is effectively taking an eraser and rubbing out every single good thing you have ever done for her. All the hours you spent listening to her problems, all the times you supported her when she was down, the money you spent, the kindness you showed, and the energy you poured into her life, she is saying all of it counts for zero. Women only say this when they have lost all respect for what you bring to the table. It means your hard work wasn't seen, your presence wasn't valued, your sacrifices were ignored. She is telling you that everything you did was pointless and unnecessary. A good, appreciative woman notices when a man is trying. Even if she doesn't say it every single day, she knows you are there. She sees the small things like when you check on her or help her reach her goals. She values your loyalty and your heart. But when a woman uses this line, she is showing that she feels no gratitude at all. This is often used as a way to manipulate you. By saying she never asked for your help, she doesn't have to feel bad about how she treats you. It is a way for her to avoid feeling guilty for taking you for granted. If she can pretend that your efforts were meaningless, then she can walk away or treat you poorly without feeling like a bad person. It is a way to hide from feeling guilty. It also shows a very dangerous perspective. She has started to see your kindness as a weakness. To her, your loyalty became just a part of the background, something she expected rather than something she earned. You became convenient instead of valuable. Once a woman thinks you will always be there no matter how she acts, she stops respecting what you do. Think about what she is really saying. She is saying she doesn't owe you anything. No loyalty, no respect, and no effort in return. In her mind, you gave things away for free, so she doesn't have to give anything back. Some men react to this by trying even harder. They think if they do even more, she will finally say thank you. But the opposite is true. When someone thinks you don't require anything in return, they will give you nothing. The relationship becomes a one-way street very fast. This sentence usually means she is already done emotionally. She is getting ready to leave. Her goal is to make you feel like your feelings don't matter. When a woman respects you, she will acknowledge your effort even when she is upset. But when she says she never asked for anything, she is telling you there is no partnership here. There is no team. You should never stay with someone who acts like your love and your effort are worth nothing. Don't argue. Don't make a list of all the things you've done. Don't try to prove your value. Just walk away and let her see what life is like without the man who actually cared. Fifth, be very careful if she says, "Maybe we should take a break." A lot of guys hear this and think it just means she is stressed out or needs a few days to think. They think it's a temporary pause. But usually, when a woman suggests a break, she isn't looking for space. She is looking for a way of saying goodbye without saying it. This is the slow breakup. It is a way for her to start pulling away without having to deal with a big, dramatic goodbye right away. It lets her detach slowly so she doesn't have to feel like the bad guy. Here is the reality. Women do not take breaks from men they truly love and want to be with. They take breaks from men they aren't sure about anymore. They take breaks when they aren't excited or when they have already decided they don't want to stay. A break is her way of putting you on hold while she goes out and sees what life is like without you. She wants the freedom to do what she wants without feeling guilty about it. She wants to be single without officially being single. Many men fall into this trap and say, "Okay, I'll wait for you. Take all the time you need." But while you are sitting at home waiting, she is out there living her life. She isn't sitting in a room thinking about how much she misses you. She is testing her options. She is seeing if she can find someone else or if she enjoys the attention of other people. A break is rarely about fixing a relationship. If she wanted to fix things, she would stay. She would talk to you. She would try to find a solution, and she would work with you to make things better. A break is the opposite of that. It is an escape from responsibility. She doesn't have to be loyal during a break. She doesn't have to put in any effort. She gets all the freedom, while you are left in a state of confusion and sadness. Most of the time, if a woman comes back after a break, it is only because things out there didn't go the way she hoped. Maybe the other guys she talked to didn't treat her well, or she realized that being single was harder than she thought. She isn't coming back because she realized your worth. She is coming back because her other plans failed. A man who respects himself does not allow himself to be put on a shelf like a toy that can be played with later. You are not a pause button. If a woman needs to leave you to realize if you are valuable, she has already shown you that she doesn't value you enough. A woman who loves you won't leave to see if the grass is greener somewhere else. She will stay and water the grass where you both stand. When she suggests a break, she is telling you her heart isn't there anymore. Don't negotiate. Don't ask how long it will take. A man should never have to compete for a woman to be sure about him. You don't need someone who needs distance from your love. When she suggests it, just end it clearly and walk away with your head held high. In the end, when a woman speaks, she is telling you exactly who she is and how she feels about your relationship. Most of the time, men get their hearts broken not because they didn't see the signs, but because they chose to look the other way. They held on to the idea of her instead of looking at the reality. They hoped things would change, and they believed that if they just loved her enough, everything would be okay. But the truth is very simple. When her words show that she doesn't respect you, that she is detached, or that she simply doesn't care, your only real job is to walk away. If she says she doesn't need you, she has already moved on in her heart. If she says you are too emotional, she doesn't respect your humanity. If she says you deserve better, she's telling you she's done trying. If she says she never asked for your help, she's erasing your history together. If she says she needs a break, she's testing the waters of a life without you. These are not small things. They are very clear messages. Once these things are said, the relationship has already changed forever. Staying won't fix it. Trying harder won't fix it. Changing who you are won't fix it. She has already shown you where her heart is. There is so much strength in being able to walk away. You protect your dignity by refusing to accept disrespect. You don't need to yell or argue. You don't need to prove your worth to someone who isn't looking. You let your silence be your answer. Silence is what separates a man who respects himself from a man who is desperate for someone's approval. Leaving doesn't mean you are cold or heartless. It means you are smart and you love yourself. You are choosing to stop giving your precious energy to someone who doesn't appreciate it. You are choosing to stop fighting for someone who stopped fighting for you a long time ago. And here is a deeper truth. Once you actually leave, she will think about it. It might not be today, and it might not be next week, but eventually she will realize what she lost. Good men who truly care, who are loyal, and who give their heart are not easy to find. A man who stood by her and supported her is rare. But even if she realizes it later and feels regret, your job is not to wait around for her. Your job is to choose yourself and your own peace of mind. Your future and your happiness are the most important things. So if you ever hear these words, don't take them as a joke. Believe her. And then respect yourself enough to walk away and find the life you truly deserve.